Good morning, and thank you for joining us in this trading session this morning. If we look at the last bit of time here, we can see it's been downtrending pretty much for the month of August, and depending where you put your channels, you can kind of see that the last day, overnight actually, we're kind of on the leg up of our down channel, possibly. It is possible as well that we may go above that, but I seriously doubt it. So we're going to go ahead and do a long. As you can see, I did one trade this morning, and it was a short, and I followed that last little bit of a leg down there. And as usual, we always look at the shortest term 1,000 ticks chart and weigh that one more in importance than the others. The others just kind of give you your general trend information. Whether you want to do shorts or longs for the day. And we are currently in a leg up. I think it's going to be fighting that up direction, but it's very possible that it will get up to that intersection. You can see on the bottom left-hand screen, the SMA, the blue SMA, the channel lines, they all kind of meet up at that one point right there. And that is probably as far up as it's going to go today, if it even gets that far. So I'm currently in a long. It's possible that I got in a little bit too soon here. But we just set our stops and our limits and we let it ride out. The MACD and the RSI on the short-term chart. There I'm showing you the first trade that I made this morning. All right, so the leg down here is possibly bottoming out at that SMA. And so I've got my stop set below it, a few ticks. And I'm waiting for it to make that turn. The MACD and the RSI on the very short-term chart are looking very good for an upturn. So I'm willing to take just a little bit more risk in this trade because of that. However, like I just pointed out on the bottom left-hand screen, there's always some information that tells you exactly the opposite of what you are seeing elsewhere. And we can see on this 30-minute chart here that the MACD is kind of peaked out and turned over. So I set the alert there for the place that I think is the highest it's going to go for the day. And it's a little bit deceiving, but that green channel line that you see above my alert that I just set, it doesn't have enough time for the points for that channel that I drew. And so it's just a straight line on the main chart. That's not really where it is. So you have to look at the longer term charts to figure out exactly what that point is. All right, it's looking good. I have my cursor on the right hand side set at the point where if it goes above that, the likelihood of it continuing up is pretty strong. And I think it will hit that SMA at least, and that'll be a resistance level. And at that point, I want to go ahead and get out and think about what's happening at that point before I make another trade. It may be that it would bounce off of that and drop down. It's possible it would go above it and head up to that alert, but I don't know after that point. So as tempting as it is to make the bigger trades, it really is safer and wiser to go for the smaller trades of like $100 and $200 versus the $500 and $700 trades and big movements, because it's just harder to predict the longer term like that. So you want to just get out at each resistance and support level and rethink. Alrighty, it's looking good. There's some strong green candles there. If you look on the 15-minute chart, which is the upper left-hand side, you can see that our red candle is turning into a doji and occasionally a green candle. We have not quite gone above the last peak there, but we're awfully close. It's at that decision point. And we have a few minutes left to opening bell. Less than 5 anyway. So I'm pretty happy with this situation. I think our short term shows that we're in a good place. The 15-minute chart is showing a green candle at a support level, which is also good. Now we just got to wait it out. Minute and a half to opening bell. Okay, we are seeing 3 dojis here. It's pretty indecisive. At least it hasn't dropped, so that's good. All right, there we got a strong green candle. That's very good. 20 seconds left to opening bell, and it's showing signs that it's probably going to go up. So that's very encouraging. Now we've definitely broken through that last peak. There's the opening bell. And I have a small drop. It held, very good. Went ahead and raised up that stop. And it looks like it's kind of petering out a little bit. So I locked in my profits there and I got stopped out. There we go. All right, so that was a decent trade actually. The drop is possible that it's just temporary and it's still going to get up there. But the fact that it didn't quite make that SMA tells me that there may not be a whole lot of excitement to go up like we saw overnight. So we're thinking about what to do next. All right, the MACD is looking like it's tipping over and going down. Depending on how far it goes down, will tell us a lot. Okay, it looks like it's kind of holding there. All right, it's going up. And if it goes above that SMA, which is our resistance level, I'd say it's pretty likely that it's going to continue on up for a while. All right, go ahead and put in another long. And because this is paper trading, it doesn't always take my orders right away, which is really frustrating. It should have taken it by now, but it didn't. So I kind of got to keep chasing it and miss out on a whole lot of profit that way. Real trading would never happen that way. All right, took my order, but in doing so, it canceled out my my stop and limit orders. So I got to put them back in. So I'm adjusting right now to a decent level, and my stop, I'm pretty happy with that. So it's just below the SMA, and it looks like it's already starting to go up. So that's encouraging. And you can see kind of the clusters of orders there. on the AT screen. Okay, kind of conked out there for a second. All right, so I am out of that order and would have made over 500 had I actually been trading, because it would have taken my order a lot sooner. That's fairly frustrating, but there it is. So I'm going to stop there for the day, and that's it. Thanks for joining me.